Carthage City Council to order. Chief Martin, would you please give us an invocation?
Yes, Your Honor. Heavenly Father, we gather tonight. We thank you for our health and our ability to be here. We ask, Father, your blessing and comfort for those who may be suffering or in need. We also ask that you examine our hearts, Lord, and fill us with wisdom so that the fruit of our efforts will bring glory to you and you alone. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Miranda, if you please call roll.
Topete, Harrison,
Here.
West,
Here.
Tellez, Thorne,
Here.
Perkins,
Here.
Snow,
Here.
Kane,
Here.
Wells,
Here.
Ready.
Here.
All right, we've got a few out this evening. I know you've had an opportunity to take a look at the minutes from July 14th council meeting. I'd entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes
Second.
as submitted.
I have a motion, a second, to approve the minutes of July 14th. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. All right, we have no presentations or proclamations this evening. So we will move on to public comments. Anyone wishing to address the council, please step to the microphone, state your name and address, and limit yourself to 5 minutes.
Joel Terry, 2219 Allison Street. Recently, the city held a drive to clean up nuisance properties. I was just wondering who was in charge of that?
Well, it's still ongoing.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Okay, because I drove by a house today that has a brush pile that would rival the brush pile out at the recycle center.
Okay, Joel.
They've got weeds that are taller than my pickup.
Okay.
There's grass that's 3 feet tall. Cars parked it all over the yard. It's just a mess.
Well, Josiah and the Public Works Department with code enforcement are shepherding that effort going forward, but it also includes fire and police. But if you've got addresses that you specifically, if they're not in, we're not obviously able to do the entire city at one time, so we're working through sections at a time.
I understand.
I doubt if we've gotten to that section yet.
It's been a while, and I just didn't know if anybody driven past that, because it is complete eyesore. There's poison ivy everywhere. There's probably more poison ivy there than in Mark Twain Forest. So
Okay.
it's horrible.
Just Josiah, make sure you get the address from him. And
Okay. Thank you.
thank you, Joe. Anyone else wishing to address the council, please step to the microphone, state your name and address, and limit yourself to 5 minutes.
Hello, I'm Jana Conklin. I'm the manager at Boots Court Motel.
Can you move a little closer to the microphone, Janet?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm the manager at Boots Court Motel and the Carthage Visitor Center. The Boots Court Motel and the Carthage Visitor Center is more than a place to just hand out maps. It's the front door to our community. Every day we welcome travelers from across the country and all around the world, introducing them to everything that makes Carthage so special. We encourage our visitors to explore our local restaurants, shops, museum, parks, turning perhaps maybe a quick stop into an overnight stay and a memorable visit. Every recommendation that we make supports the local businesses and strengthens the tourism economy. The Carthage Visitor Center creates connections, and we share the stories of Carthage, and we leave the visitors with an experience they will remember long after they leave. Just in these past few months alone, we have welcomed visitors from all 50 states and 42 different countries. We have had guests passing through that were attending the World Cup tour, and they stayed here in Carthage. We welcome tour groups from California, Minnesota, Kansas, Australia, Oklahoma, and Michigan. The Hot Rod Tour brought over 9,000 cars traveling through Carthage. I'm sure most of you saw all of those. And in June, we had our first event in our green space area, and it was a great turnout. And so many of our community have come back in and asked if we will do it every month. We're looking at doing another event in the fall. And finally, the American Solar Challenge, they're passing through Carthage, and they're gonna be here tomorrow. They're gonna be arriving at Memorial Hall and leaving from Boots on Thursday morning at 9 a.m. The Boots Court Foundation, we want to thank you all for this continued partnership, and please come and stop by anytime. We're open 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day. We would love to give you a tour. We would love to have you come walk around the Carthage Visitor Center and just see all that we have to offer there. Thank you.
Hang on just a second. Any council have any questions for Ms. Conklin? Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Anyone else wishing to address the council, please step to the microphone, state your name and address, and limit yourself to 5 minutes. All right, seeing none, we will move on then to reports of standing committees. First one, Budget Ways and Means. Alan.
Budget Ways and Means is currently in between meetings. Our next regularly scheduled meeting will be on August 10th at 5:30 here in council chambers.
Okay, thank you. Insurance Audit and Claims. Ron.
Yes, Your Honor. We met this afternoon here at 6 o'clock on the 28th. We approved the budget claims. We also, under new business, considered and discussed changes to the 204 probationary period of the personnel policy manual, and that will be in under new business tonight on our agenda. Also, we considered and discussed the employee health fair, and that is to allow the city to spend around $135 for each employee for participating in the health fair, which is conducted by Freeman's. And I need to entertain a voice vote in getting that approval so that we can have this benefit for our employees here in the city of Carthage. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Have a motion, or,
Do you have a question?
yes,
No, you can make the motion, Ron.
oh, well,
That's okay.
Robin made it for me.
Well, if you want to make the motion, Rob, I'm just going to second.
Okay,
All right. So we have a motion and a second to approve the,
$135 per each employee for the health fair. Your Honor.
any discussion? Alan.
I don't know what the exact numbers are. I'm sure Miranda probably has those numbers, but we've been doing this for a number of years, and this has helped our health insurance costs stay neutral or not go up as much as they should. So I think this is a very good program that we provide for our employees, and I believe the participation rate is in the high 90s, if not 100%. So I believe this is a good program to continue.
One more thing, Your Honor. They're having a $30 incentive per employee for diabetes detection. But the insurance companies are giving us a rebate of what, $5,000?
The insurance company is giving us $5,000 to use towards employee health incentives. And diabetes is one of the high costs of our insurance, and so we would like to use that part of that money to pay for employees to get an A1C test, and maybe we can help with early detection on some employees for diabetes.
Any other discussion? Alan.
So would we need to amend the motion from $135 per employee to be $165 per
No.
employee? That A1C would be an additional $30?
It will be, so we will be paying $165, but we will get a donation to pay for the $30, so you're correct.
Right. Said we need to amend it to be 165?
Yes.
Okay, I so make that motion then.
Second.
All right, may I have a motion and a second for the amended,
$165.
$165 buys $135. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
And our next meeting will be at 05:30 on the, in 2 weeks,
Okay?
on the 1st of August.
Your Honor.
Yes, Alan?
So the vote we just took was to amend the motion. We need a vote on the original motion on the table.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So you can ask for further discussion.
Yeah, is there, if there any further discussion, if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the,
You've got the motion on the table. You just need to take the vote.
oh, okay.
All right.
Goodness, this is just too confusing for me. All right, well, the motion is on the table. It has seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion passes.
Thank you.
All right,
done.
moving on. Anything else, Ron?
No, that's all.
Okay, public safety, David.
Yes, sir. We met here in chamber on the 20th, had just a few things to deal with. First, we heard from Laura Phelps regarding the McCune Brooks Health Care Foundation. They're having a fundraiser. That is going to be on October the 1st, down here at the new pavilion where the farmers market is. They requested that closing 2nd Street from Grant to the driveway of the parking lot, so it's about a half a block long, and they'll be having a food truck there. So at this time, I'd make a motion that we allow the closure of 2nd Street from Howard to the parking lot and allow for them to have a food truck.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion, a second, to close Howard, or 2nd Street between Grant and halfway to Howard Street to support the McCune Brooks Healthcare Foundation. Any discussion?
This will take place between 3 and 10 p.m., I believe, is the times.
And those are the times they want it closed?
Yes.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Secondly, we heard from Chief Martin regarding an anonymous donation regarding some new LED lighting for the fire department. That'll be later tonight as Resolution 2126. We heard a request from Water and Electric requesting a crosswalk between their new parking lot, which is south of their main building, across Centennial to the main building. At this time, I'd make a motion that we allow them to have the street striped for a crosswalk at that location.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion, a second, to allow the emplacement of a crosswalk from the CWEP, the old hospital building, across the street to the new parking lot. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Also heard from the police chief regarding the contract with the Carthage R9. As in years past, the Carthage R9 district will have one Carthage officer dedicated as a school resource officer and 2 Carthage reserve officers. At this time, I would make a motion we continue that for 1 officer and 2 reserve officers.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion, a second, to approve the memorandum of agreement with the R9 school system for the support of the SRO program. Any discussion? Pat?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I just wondered, are these new individuals taking these positions, or are they continuing in there?
No, we have one Carthage employee who is an assistant SRO, who is a member of the police department. The other 2, which includes a retired, is heading up the program for them, are both R9 employees.
Okay.
But they are commissioned as reserve officers for the Carthage department. Alan, you had something else?
Yeah, so we've been doing this for several years. It started the city hired all of the SROs, and then the school reimbursed us for those SROs' salaries. And a couple years ago, they decided that they wanted to hire their own employee, so they hired their own employee, still commissioned through our police department. This year, they're hiring a second employee, and we'll still have one reserve officer, or one Carthage officer that will be in the school. Part of the reason they decided to hire their own employees is because then they can direct the SROs to work at football games or work at other school events rather than having them reporting to the chief. Because when they were city employees, they actually reported to the police department. And so that's part of the reason. I believe this year they are reimbursing us still for that one officer that we are providing them.
Thank you.
Any other questions or discussion? All right, I have a motion, second on the floor to approve the adjusted SRO memorandum. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It's approved.
We also had a resolution regarding the 47th annual Marion Days that will also appear later in today's meeting. And staff reports, the fire department, they still are doing some ongoing remodeling, some floor tile and ceiling tile, getting ready for Marion Days. They've got 4 new hires, working on getting all those guys up and going. The police department, they have 1 person in training and an opening, and they're also going to be doing some painting down at their building. And that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Public Services, Beth.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. The Public Services Committee met earlier this month, and one of the main topics that evening was the swimming pool, and recommendations are being formed by the Landmark Aquatics in order for us to move forward, and we will be keeping the council and the public informed on that. And when Richard gives his report, he will be giving a bit more detail related to that. And we're doing our best to bring the pool back to where it was, as well as achieve the health and safety standards that we need to meet code, and make sure that the electrical is addressed and other things. And we've been able to continue to rely on the support that from information from Carthage Water and Electric and some other, I think Josiah's group has been out there as well, and I think that's been extremely helpful to the Parks and Rec team. We also I know I've been driving around a lot lately, and it seems like the parks look like they're really manicured, and it's good to see, and there's a lot of activity. So I think we are enjoying the fruits of our efforts to keep those up and maintained. So that's very important to thank the staff, because I know it doesn't happen overnight. The other thing is that the golf revenue's remaining, it's fluctuating a little bit. We haven't seen huge increases this last month, but we're maintaining kind of a steady stream of revenue. I also met one of the new employees, and there will be another person that is being hired, correct, Richard?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I know that will help to keep things moving and focused as we go forward. So those are things that happened in the Public Services Committee. Yes, ma'am.
We need a motion for moving forward with the assessment from Landmark.
Okay, all right. For some reason I didn't. Oh, well, never mind. Anyway, I'd like to entertain a motion to move forward with the assessment from Landmark.
You make a motion.
Oh, I make the motion. Okay. So you're not the only one that has challenges on this stuff. Okay, 1,000, or 25, 29, that's right, yes, well, really, we are, no. Yeah. So $29,400 for that assessment. And this is prior to any stamped engineering plans that will be developed. So it's a step that will get us further along the road.
Second.
Thank you.
I have a motion and a second to proceed with a contract for an assessment by Landmark on the needed improvements to the pool. Any discussion? Yes,
A
Tracy.
little more information. This is both an electrical assessment and a facility assessment to get the facility back to code and with a few options for improving the facility as well. And we had previously approved $25,000, but when we added in the electrical assessment as well, that's when it came back at $29,400. We did receive another bid from Algar Martin to do an electrical assessment, and their bid came in at $13,500, I believe. And so that's why we've included it in the landmark proposal.
Any other discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
All right, motion passes.
And the next meeting will be, of the Public Services Committee meeting will be on the third Tuesday of August at 5:30 in council chambers.
Okay?
Thank you.
Next will be Public Works. Right.
Public Works is currently between meetings. The next scheduled meeting will be August the 4th. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Now entertain reports from special committees and board liaisons. If you would like to go first. Ron.
Okay, we had a meeting in the Civil War Museum Advisory Board on the 21st of this month. The main discussion, well, number one, we had our president resign, and he's, I guess, moving to Joplin or taking a
You took a new position.
new position over in Joplin, so he wasn't going to be able to. So we made a motion and approved Chris Johnson as our new president for the board. And now that leaves us one member short again, Mayor, so you'll have to be appointing us another member for that board. Also, some concerns, the fact I was down there the day the air conditioning in that room, or in the Civil War Museum down there, was over 80 degrees, very warm for wanting to bring visitors in, and they were trying to get someone in. I don't know if they got them in to get that fixed yet or not. I didn't get an answer on that. And we were also looking at trying to get the code standards from the fire marshal or what have you to ensure that we're within code. We were still missing a few little items there that they needed to work on. And like I said, we're short one board member now. And we did appoint Chris Johnson. Melissa reported that our significant growth for the visiting down there was increased. Our gift shop had increased to 4,683 through June, which is above, at this time of period, both 2025 and 2023. So they're getting quite a few visitors in there, and they are kind of helping support it. Donations totaling so far this year is $2,181 through June 2026, which is higher again than 2025 or 2024. June donations itself reached $760, highest donation for the full year comparison. And let's see what else I got here. I think that's all I have, Your Honor. The president did not give us a next meeting yet. He'll let us know later on.
Okay, thank you.
That's all, Your Honor.
All right, any other special committees or board liaisons? Alan?
Yeah, the hiring process committee has met again, and we have forwarded some language to Mr. Gold, and we should be seeing that on the agenda probably at our next meeting for some changes to our personnel policy.
Okay, thank you. Any other report? Jack?
The CWEP board met July 16th, and I'll read the salient points. Disbursements were approved in the amount of $6,506,911.81. The directors gave an updated report of operations. There were no financials to approve this month because it is the end of the fiscal year, so staff is wrapping up the entire year financials for presentation to the board. These financial statements will be presented for approval at the August meeting. In new business, the board reviewed bids for an on-call emergency evacuation services. This contract will be used primarily for emergency response and other unforeseen on-call needs. The bid received 4 responses, with Freeman Landworks, WRX, presenting a majority of the lowest cost for equipment and labor. The board awarded the contract to Freeman Landworks. And this is more like an insurance policy. It's just so they'll have access to it. Resolution 2026.06 was approved, which revised a previous resolution. In that previous resolution, the board had approved a loan to Little Lambs Child Care through the use of a revolving loan fund. Because of the changing needs of Little Lambs, this loan amount was revised from $60,000 to $30,000. Resolution 2026-07 was approved, which modified CWEP's revolving loan fund plan by changing the minimum loan amount from $50,000 to $30,000. Then Randy Dubry gave a very excellent detailed report on the progress of the road work into the Economic Development Park. The board approved moving forward with the next phase of the access road. Explained to the board what this work would entail, which includes adding curb and guttering, drain pipe, and connecting the road with the MDOT owned road. The board approved the work in the amount of $1,140,295,000. I'd like to flesh this out. Currently, Blevins is going to allow or give Randy the same pricing as the city, which was $70. Is that right? $70, whatever it was. Yeah. So Blevins did the same rate, which was a bonus. He's going to lay in, I think, 4 inches on the road from the edge of the MoDOT access to the Economic Development Park. And then he's going to raise the road. He has an easement from MoDOT to raise the road 10 feet, which then lowers the power line access, or so Liberty's going to have to move their power line. And the Groans were good luck with that. But it's only going to be 10 feet from the road to the power line, which is not going to happen. So that's going to have to take place. And then after that, the easement is in place. They'll put in, I can't remember how many feet of asphalt, rock, asphalt, etc., from the roundabout down to the road to the Economic Development Corporation. Then another thing was not in the USDA approved plan for economic development for municipal utilities that have a governing board, which CWEP qualifies for. They received a grant of $300,000 from the USDA grant. And finally, Resolution 2026-08 was approved, which authorized a $600,000 loan to the CEDC to help fund a housing development. The CEDC's involvement in the development project allows the development to qualify for special grant funding and or financing from the state. And this, obviously, we know who this is, MBL Development. We all got a letter saying that we need to support that. I don't know what else we could do. But anyway, that's a report from the board.
Okay, thank you. Any other reports from board liaison? Beth?
Yes, I have 3 things tonight. I think Alan and Juan, and I'm not sure if there was anybody else from the council that went to the, pardon?
Robin.
Oh, and Robin there, went to the MoDOT public meeting on the 171-249 proposed sky thinking, in my opinion, to have a move that interstate on-ramp to go around Carthage. And there is a survey out that has been posted on the city's website and through the app that is due by August 13th to be able to get public input about the feasibility and what the citizens of Carthage think about that particular proposal. Obviously, we are against it, and I spoke with the Will Klein, who's the staff person for the Harry S. Truman Transportation Coordinating Council, and again reinforced our position that we are not in favor of this. So he has offered to carry that message very strongly in any meetings that he attends with the state and with any related parties related to this. So we've had a lot of response, but we'd like more to fill out those surveys. So it would be important to keep that word out there on the, as you talk to people, to do it. So that's one thing. The other, I attended the Vision Carthage board meeting earlier this month, and one of the things that was talked about was the Restoration Day on September 26th, which is Saturday. And I know that the teams are getting selected to be able to go out to look at various projects, and the funding is coming together for these efforts. And it really dovetails very nicely with our code enforcement work to improve the look and really help some people out that may be not able to do these things on their own. So that's a very important project that I think, and I participated as a house captain last year, and I'm going to do it again, because it's just, it's amazing to see the transformation in one day with community volunteers. And so if you know of organizations that want to, like there was one of the banks that was the team that worked on the house on Main Street that I was with. So there's plenty of room for individual volunteers and also company and civic organizations to get involved. The last thing is that the courthouse fencing and repair work on the roof is done. It looks very nice, and we are very glad to have the fencing removed and the cranes gone, and the work was done, I think, ahead of schedule, and for that we're all very grateful. I know that some of the businesses have already started to look at how that affected their revenue this past month, and it did have an impact. I'm sure they'll be putting together totals for the end of the month to see how things looked. But that just really reinforces what we all need to think about and carry forth to members in our ward or citizens, is that we really do need to shop local. There are a lot of things that we can do to support what's going on with our local businesses. So I want to encourage everybody to try and do that, especially with gas prices. But at any rate, those are the three things I have this evening.
Okay, thank you. Any other special committee or board liaison? Okay, we'll move on to my report. First of all, we had a meeting. Public Works was there, Tracy and I were there with both Carthage Special Road District personnel leadership, as well as County Commission was represented. Jimmy Morse joined us. And it was all a discussion with regard to some of the roads and who owns and who has responsibility for the maintenance of the roads, for paying for the maintenance of the roads and those types of things, and ensuring that we understand where some of the tax dollars that are collected on our behalf for our use, in fact, are making their way back down to us. So I think we've made some progress there. We're working a memorandum of agreement with them. There isn't one in effect right now. There's one that had been drafted several years ago that never got approved, but we're moving forward along that line. We've continued to have discussions and conversations with regard to the initial conceptual approach that Fraternal Order of Police would like to take with regard to how they would like the police officers chapter dealt with from citywide, and we'll continue to work on with that, and we'll let you know as that progresses. Was able to attend the CEDC, hosted essentially a planning meeting. It was almost more of a workshop for business retention and expansion. They brought in some guests and some visitors, which was very good. And in the middle of that, we took a break, quite honestly, for a CEDC board meeting, which was held at the same time. All this occurred at the CWEP Community Center. So very informative and very helpful, and of course nested right in with the types of things that we're trying to do in a couple of other areas. The same day, interesting enough, we had the CWP board meeting that Jack mentioned, and I was able to attend that. And that evening, the CMR hosted the annual friendship dinner, which they host annually. All of you should have been invited. And basically what they do is they invite those city employees that are supportive or will be supporting their Marion Day efforts. So, and once again, that was a great event, and they do a great job out there. Had a follow-on meeting the very next morning with the senior leadership of the CMR with regard to Marion Days and our support for the Marion Days and how we can do a better job of identifying what the costs are and offset the costs from the perspective, because I'm sure as people understand, it becomes not an insignificant amount of money that we support out there. And they understand where we are from a fiscal perspective. I think it's very cordial relationships and conversations, and I think we've got a shared vision of how we move forward, and there'll probably be some changes going down the road, but I think very helpful, and keeps moving things down the road on us. The Carthage Redevelopment Corporation met here in Chambers the week before last to consider one of the applications under the 353 protocols for tax abatement for one of the buildings on the square. And that board, it stood back up. In fact, I see Darren sitting out here as the chairman of that board. Hadn't had to meet recently, but that's all moving forward. And again, it's all focused on what can be done to make investment and reclamation, if you will, of some of our historic buildings around the square more palatable and attractive to outside money. So that's moving forward well. We did have a follow-on meeting with Jeff Meredith with regard to the Economic Development Park out there and the types of things we're continuing to move forward with the protocols, the covenants that will be in place out there as we go forward. As you know, we do not have yet a tenant that has entered into contractors with out there, but we're working on that and continue to cast that net and that marketing point as far as possible, and hopefully we'll get some success sooner rather than later. Josiah hosted a kind of a briefing, if you will, for us here with regard to what is possible within the GIS system and how we might be able to better incorporate that across the city. GIS, as everyone's familiar with, is essentially kind of the geolocation services that will run down and show you where your yard is, where your property lines are, and you can toggle it for different ways. And there's lots of ways to entertain and grab data that is resident within those systems for utilization across several departments across the city. All the department heads were there. So we'll see how that continues to progress. CWEP is also involved in that, and there's a lot of probably synergies and some cost savings for the city that are available in that area once we continue to move forward. This afternoon we had another Bridge Committee meeting, and that is moving forward, and we've got a pretty good way ahead. And we're about ready to start getting more involved, particularly with the railroads and some of our political representatives at the various levels to help us fight through what's feasible, how to fund it, and how do we move forward. And that team is continuing to operate, and I think that we'll see continued forward progress. I had an opportunity to meet and interact with Rob O'Brien, who is the newly elected Joplin mayor. I had not met him before, and he came over and we had about a 2-hour meeting. Of course, they operate a little bit differently over there than we do with regard to the mayor is a council member who is elevated to the mayoral role, but then still sits on the council. So it's a little different system than we've got down here, but they do have some of the similar challenges we've got over there that we discussed, and it was nice to meet him, and I think we had a good conversation. Finally, I was out of pocket last week as I went back to Fort Bragg with a bunch of old paratroopers to kind of see what's going on down there. So I know there was a lot of work that was occurring here while I was gone. I certainly appreciate that, and that completes my report for this evening. So with that, we will move on to reports of council members, and we will start, Robin, with you.
Well, I was going to say she left, but I was very interested and liked hearing about the visitor center and Boots Court and all the people who come, and even that people came who were here for the World Cup and everything. So I appreciated that update. That is all.
Okay, Ray,
Nothing at this time, thank you.
on your last meeting, you're not gonna say anything?
Oh, I got closing comments.
Oh, okay. All right, that's good. David?
Looking forward to the solar car event coming through. My grandson's quite excited about that, so we're gonna go check out the cars.
No, great. Jack?
I'm good, thank you.
Alan?
I would like to, again, thank Josiah, and I know it was started on a committee Ron chaired. The number of comments I get from people about Oak Street and the code enforcement efforts out there. I mean, if you haven't had a chance to drive down Oak Street lately, it's really a lot different, you know? And with the cleaning up and the painting of the Wee Bridge, I think Oak Street now is something that we should be proud that our visitors coming through town can see. I'd like to welcome Roy. I guess Roy's still here.
No, he bolted.
No, did he?
Yeah, he met everybody and left.
Oh, okay. Well, met Roy before the meeting tonight. Hopefully he's gonna work out as the Assistant Parks Director, and I think that's a position that we've needed for a while, and so I'm glad that we finally have him in place. The pool, Richard, I know you've been doing a lot of work, and I look forward to hearing your report in just a little bit. I think that if we can somehow come up with a plan that we can repair that pool, I think the historical value of that pool for our city is worth saving. So hopefully we can come up with a good plan for that. As council member Kang said, we went to the MoDOT meeting the other night, and you know, MoDOT's biggest thing is that the intersection out here at Central and the current I-49 is not up to interstate standards. Well, some of the people that I've personally talked to that have a little more inside connection than others have told me that really it's not that intersection that's driving it, that it's Joplin and Duquesne, or Webb City and Duquesne has some property they would like to develop, and they would like to have 249 designated as an interstate. And so hopefully this study will show that the cost, the estimate was $400 million. Hopefully that study will show that it's not feasible at this time and won't have any changes that affect us. And that's all I have for tonight, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Beth?
I just have two things. It may seem like in the scheme of things, not as big of a deal as a swimming pool, but there is the project for the dog fountain at the park at Fair Acres Park has made some walkers very, very happy that they'll have that ready. So thanks, Richard, for getting that probably moved up on your list of a lot of things that you have to do. It just it's nice when you get calls about things that people notice, and they just really appreciate that effort. So, and then I wish everybody a really great Marion Day's celebration. We won't be here this year, but it was, I think it was really great to go to the dinner, and my husband, who's a fabulous Asian cook, it passed mustard with him, so it was good. But anyway, I think, and just also knowing that we have that many people that come here for the 47th year, I believe, is nothing short of amazing. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ron?
Yes, Your Honor. Again, I agree. Alan and I have had several people contact me, reference Josiah's work and what have you, in getting that kind of out Oak Street and what have you cleaned up. I've had some comments and concerns about it, but for the most part, most of the people within the city are pleased with the work he's going on. And you are doing that every 2 weeks deal, Josiah?
Yeah.
Update?
So I missed one update in there. There was some things that came up
Okay.
that
But
kind
I-
of prevented me from doing the one update, but yeah,
Yeah.
you should see it every other week.
Yeah, but I encourage the other council members to look at that and read it, and you can also see the progress that he's doing. Second, I had a talk with Tracy today, reference, another concern that I've been getting called by some people, or individuals within the city. They're concerned about these two flock cameras up over by Lowe's, and there's one on the east side of town here somewhere also. I was told by Tracy they were not at our expense. They were put in by Jasper County Sheriff's Department, I guess, and I asked her if we could check into that, because I feel, and the people that I represent feel that that's a privacy issue, and that we'd like for our attorney to look at that and see if there's a way we can ask them to remove them from within the city. Of course, that would be a whole deal for the whole council. And other than that, that's all, Your Honor.
Okay, Susan?
Yes. I'd also like to thank Josiah for the prompt attention he gave to, I had a citizen contact me about some problem neighbors, and I just emailed him, and he was right on it and started getting it taken care of. I appreciate that. And I also am always very excited to hear about progress at the Boots Court and the Visitor Center. I tell everybody about it. I think it's just something that is great for our city. That's really all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll now move on to reports the officer of the city. Chief Deinecker has got, hard to believe, but an air conditioning problem, so he is not here this evening. Probably trying to save his marriage. So we'll start with you there, Jason.
Yeah, I can relate to that. We've been, like I said, David talked about us doing some remodel work at the fire department. It's kind of like an old sweater when you pull a thread. You just keep finding more stuff to do. So we're trying to stay busy with that and getting ready for Marion Days. We had received the new AutoPulse machines, arrived a couple of weeks ago, but we had to schedule the training for our guys to switch to the new machine. So that'll start tomorrow and Thursday, and next Tuesday we'll get all 3 crews trained and put them in service. I believe that's all I have.
Okay, and for the rest of the council, one thing that I failed to mention, but we're still in conversation with the Carthage Fire District and the folks over there and their attorney, and we're making forward progress there as well. So that's continuing on track. So, all right, Josiah.
Yeah, so I do want to kind of make mention on the code enforcement. We have been working a lot on that, diving into the way we currently do things and really breaking things down and seeing every single area where we can improve. So with some of this, the target or the initial effort and stuff, it's kind of opened up some things in our eyes so we can do our job better too. So we're beginning to implement some new things and believe it's really just going to be better and better as we go on. And then also, we've been working on, we're getting closer to seeing something for the downtown sidewalk extension. A couple more meetings with some people that want to get in touch with to answer some questions. And I would encourage, if you know anybody with a business or a piece of property in that area that has any questions, please have them reach out to me, and be more than happy to sit down with them and go over what we have so far, and don't want any surprises along the way. So. And then also preparation for Marion Days. We've had to go buy some more barriers because we've had some concrete barriers that closed down the bridges. So we've had to replace some of those. So there's been little things like that the weeks leading up to it, we've been kind of making all the preparations for the main event, and we'll be ready to go beginning this next weekend. So, and that's all I have tonight.
Okay, thank you. Richard.
Okay, well, Councilmember Kang did an excellent job recapping almost everything I was going to say. I have my notes here, but I hate to repeat everything, but I shall in some aspects. First off, as everyone met, I think everyone got to meet Roy Sawyer. Today was his first day. He is a new Assistant Parks and Recreation Director. Brings a wealth of knowledge, especially in the construction field. So he's going to be a real asset to future special programs, special projects, lighting, parks, playground units, the swimming pool. He's going to be assisting me with all of those. And so really happy to have him on board. And everybody thinks, as far as my staff is concerned, thinks he's going to fit in really well. He just has a good, easy manner about him. So that's a great hire, I think. And I wanted to thank Mr. Miller, but he's out of town today. But I'll put it on the YouTube where Mr. Miller, you did a great job finding this guy. And Mr. Miller sat in on all the interviews with me, and he did a really good job. We worked as a good team, I think. We've also been interviewing our new administrative assistant position, and we made an offer on the table, and this person should start next week. Again, I don't want to make name public until they're actually here, but you'll meet them as well soon. Last week we had a very successful county fair, in part, I think, because Alan Snow gave a great public speech, PSA, encouraged people to go down, and I think that really helped, because they told me that there was a lot of people down there, and they actually credited you for sending them that way, so that was good. Okay, the swimming pool report that you guys approved earlier, what that is going to do is that's going to give us 3 different options on, and with pricing on how to fix the current pool. One will be the pretty basic, get it up to code, keep it just like it is, get everything running and stop the leak. Pretty simple. The second will be add a few amenities like a 0 depth entry, perhaps some splash pad features instead of just fixing the wading pool, or in addition to fixing the wading pool. And then the third option, which I'll be honest with you, I thought was a little bit out of left field when it was brought up before council, would be to renovate the pool to its original status of one large pool instead of 3 smaller ones. And I was able to speak immediately after that meeting with the landmark representative, and he goes, actually, that's not a bad idea. So those will be 3 of the options, all under the one price tag, and that's kind of what we're going for, as well as what I consider the most important thing is the electrical review, because I know everybody has known for a long time the pool leaks water, but what most people didn't know is the pool is not up to code for the electrical systems, and that's my main concern. You know, of course I'm concerned about leaking water. I'm not saying that's not an important thing, but I'm more concerned about the public health and safety of my employees and also the customers that come through that door. So that'll all be reviewed. Once the check is in the mail, I will officially write a press release, and that will probably be in lieu of my report that I have to do every week and not every other week. And so we'll get that to you guys sooner rather than later. I think that's all I have, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Jason.
I did have one other item, Your Honor, that I skipped over. We had a couple of calls last week about fire hydrants being painted for the Route 66 celebration, and we didn't know about it. It ended up with some discussion. I stopped the work that day, or requested they stop, but it's resumed, I believe. And there are specific fire life safety codes that the city adopted years ago that require fire hydrants to designate by the bonnet cover and the caps what the gallonage flow rate is. After I talked to Chuck Bryant at Carthage Water and Electric, we came to agreement that they will make them, it will bring them up to code. And we've got several around the square that are painted with the maple leaf motif that they need to have a yellow bonnet to match the gallonage instead of the light blue, which designates 1,500 gallons a minute. The yellow is 1,000, which majority of ours are. We do have some that are in proximity to our water towers that are between 1,000 and 1,500 that would need to be green. It's just part of the city code. We weren't trying to be a stick in the mud and stop the beautification, because they looked amazing, and hats off to the artist Michelle McAfee Logan, who painted the one at Baker and Oak with a sort of a flag motif, and it's really pretty, but it has a blue bonnet and red caps, which conflicts with the information that we're taught to recognize when we pull up to a hydrant. But I believe they're going to press forward and leave the bonnets and caps alone so that they can be restored to the color they're supposed to be. Apologize for not bringing that up.
Okay. Beth.
I just had a question, Chief Martin. So it occurred to me as you were talking, so the fire hydrants are maintained by
CWEP.
Okay, and then you all use them, but I was wondering where the line was drawn with what the involvement was with each entity, so.
Correct. They own them. It's their infrastructure, but they also have to adhere to fire code.
Understand. Yeah, absolutely. I just was, yeah.
We don't want like a delay in response. Somebody pulls up to one and they're confused, and so they don't hook up to it, or they hesitate.
Certainly.
And then damage can, in fires, it progresses rapidly.
No,
without water.
it had never occurred to me where that roles and responsibilities would be on that. And so then if there's a change to.
And I think they were unaware of that as well.
Okay.
So I printed out a bunch of material.
Yeah.
And we had a good conversation.
So going forward, then they come to the fire department?
Well, it should really actually it should be addressed in our code of ordinances. It's not. We adopted the building codes, and I can't remember.
So that's something that needs to be.
The NFPA code is part of that. National Fire Protection Code is part of that. But there's not a specific ordinance with regard to painting them, and that may be forthcoming in the future, that we address that and have the process that an individual would need to go through to decorate them. They're really only allowed to decorate the barrel and not the caps or the top.
So that would be a good, that'll be some follow-up that will take place on. Thank you. I just hadn't thought about those things.
That's probably a classic example of what we could do with ArcGIS as well. I mean, there's no reason that the flow for each one of these individual fire hydrants isn't in a database that they pull up, and it's automatically, they've got it available in the truck and on their mobile unit. So, I mean, there's ways we can work through that. Any other questions? Josiah, you had something.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch base too. I kind of forget to mention it because of Kellogg Lake Board's project at the sidewalk improvement and the new pavilion out at the Kellogg Lake Park. It's coming along really good. I would say it's probably 90% complete right now. Everything looks really good. The crew that got that bid it has a good reputation working with us in the past, and I think they're proving that they would be a good one to work in the future for. So I just want to say kudos to them, and they've really I drive by it every day and see it. So the progress is really coming along really well. Looks
Great. Tracy.
Nothing that hasn't been covered already.
You're gonna remain silent? You and Sally? This is a banner day. John?
Nothing tonight.
All right. We will now listen to the report of the Claims Committee.
The Committee on Claims filed a report in the amount of $930,539.91.
I make a motion that we approve the claims as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the claims as presented. Any discussion? Beth?
At one point, when I was on the committee, we had talked about making sure that there was sufficient documentation and backup for approvals of costs that are and expenses. Has that been are you more comfortable with that these days?
Every claim that I look at, I make sure there's a claim for every expense presented to the claims committee.
And there is sufficient
Yes.
detail on it for the,
Yes.
especially,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, okay, because I know that was a concern, and so I want to make sure that's being addressed.
And ever so often, I'll address or ask Miranda or Tracy to clarify something for me. If I don't understand what's going on. My only problem is making sure I get all the department head signatures on those things.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. All right, we have no public hearings tonight, and we have no old business, so we will move on to new business.
The first reading of Council Bill 2644, an ordinance to amend Section 204 probationary period of the Personnel Policy Manual of the City of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion? Ron?
Your Honor, the main thing about this is making sure that all of the employees are on the same level basis, and it's making them all with a 12-month probation period versus some having 6 and some having 12.
Okay. Any other discussion?
I have a question. Are the, at the end of the probationary period, is there a review or of performance at that time, or is it, what's that procedure at the end of that time?
There is a procedure for review, and if the employee is not meeting satisfactory work performance, then that probationary period can be extended. And that is addressed in the new policy.
Okay, great, thank you.
Alan?
I would also say that this was part of our, I guess it's hiring process committee discussion, and we talked about it, and there were different, there was a 6-month probationary period and a 1-year probationary period, and again, we wanted to make it uniform across the board, and also we wanted, 6 months may not be long enough for someone to try to be good for, so it extends it for all employees now, not just the department heads. So that was why we brought this.
And if I can interject, it also is relevant to individuals who may take a position, a different position or a higher position, then their 12 months begins again. So that applies as well.
Any other discussion? All right, moving on. Mayor's appointments. Wait a minute, Alan?
Your Honor, I'd like to amend the agenda to also include the mayor's appointments to the standing committees, that we all have a copy of the new appointments on our desk.
I've got a motion
Second.
I have a motion and a second to amend the agenda to include the mayor's committee assignment appointments. Any discussion? Alan?
The reason for the new committee appointments is, unfortunately, we're losing our good friend Ray. And with Ray leaving, we would have 2 committees with only 3 individuals on each committee, on those 2 committees. And with 3, it is sometimes difficult to get a quorum. So that's the purpose behind this new appointment, these new appointments.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, so I have a motion to amend the agenda to include that discussion. A motion is second on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Unopposed? Okay, the agenda is modified. Miranda?
Okay, so on the police and fire pension, I got the people that were elected by their departments, but I forgot the 2 citizens that are appointed by the mayor. And so it's just the reappointment of Mike Zeider and Timon Bay until the July 2028 date with the others.
Alan?
I move we accept the mayor's appointments to the Police and Fire Pension Committee.
Second.
All right, I have a motion second to accept the essentially reappointments to the Police and Fire Pension Committee. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, they're adopted.
And then the changes to the standing committees added Alan to the Insurance Audit and Claims Committee, and then Beth to Public Works Committee.
Alan?
I move that we accept the mayor's appointments to the council standing committees.
Second.
Have a motion second to accept the new appointments to the standing committees. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Appointments are approved. We'll now move on to resolutions.
Resolution 2126, a resolution providing for the acceptance of an anonymous donation of 60 1x4 flat panel LED lights with an approximate value of $3,649.80 to the Carthage Fire Department by the City Council of the City of Carthage, Missouri pursuant to city policy.
Alan?
I move we adopt resolution 2126.
Second.
I have a motion, a second to adopt resolution 2126. Any discussion? Alan?
Yeah, Chief Martin mentioned it. They're doing some remodeling down at the Fire Station 1, and these new flat panel LED lights are gonna be a big improvement to the old lights that they have down there. Very fortunate to get those donated, so I don't know if you initiated the donation or if they found out we were remodeling and decided to come and donate, Chief, but thank you for that.
They actually offered to donate them a year ago, but we weren't going to do anything until we could get the roof fixed. So this individual stored them in his garage for a year and waited for us. But they're the ones who initiated it, the offer.
Any other discussion? Cast your vote. Resolution passes. Next resolution.
Resolution 2127, a resolution authorizing city support and permissions for several programs as part of the 47th Annual Marion Day Celebration in the City of Carthage, Missouri.
I move that we accept resolution 2127.
Second.
I have a motion, a second to adopt resolution 2127. Any discussion? Cast your vote. Resolution is adopted. All right, we will now move on to closing comments. The only thing I would say this evening is obviously it's been hot for the last week or so. I know there's lots of people that are struggling with air conditioning and those types of things, and it's scheduled to be hot going forward. So be safe out there and make sure you're hydrating appropriately. And after that, David, we'll start with you for closing comments.
It's been good working with Ray. That's all I can say to him.
All right, Jack?
And remind people that beer is 93% water.
Alan?
I have a few things, Ray. Sorry to miss you, or for you to be leaving us, but I've enjoyed working with you again. And, hopefully we get an opportunity for you to come back and join us again sometime in the future. Looking forward to Marion Days. I didn't get to go to the friendship dinner last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, but looking forward to Marion Days. Whenever it gets here, the food is good and it's hot. There's usually a chance of a rainstorm sometime during that week, so looking forward to all of that to break a little bit of that heat. I've seen a lot of information online about the Sarcoxy Pool, and they're inviting people to come to Sarcoxy, so I would just like to encourage people, if they want to get out on a little day trip and go to Sarcoxy while our pool is closed. I think it's $5 a day for admission, and I haven't heard anything bad, so I would encourage people maybe to go try the pool out in Sarcoxy. And last thing, next Tuesday, August 4th is Election Day, and I would like to encourage everyone to get out and vote. That's all tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you. Beth?
Just want to say, it's been a privilege to serve with you, Ray, and we appreciate your service, and best of luck in moving. So, thank you. That's all.
Ron?
Again, Ray, we're gonna miss you on the committee and here in the council. But hopefully you can find an opportunity to come back and serve again. That'd be your third term, right?
Yes.
Or fourth. And, yeah, I'm looking also forward to Marion Days. It's right there in my backyard, so I just walk over if it ain't that hot. If it is, I'll pass. That's all, Your Honor.
All right, Susan?
Just best of luck, Ray. I've enjoyed getting to work with you. That's all.
Robin?
Ray, sad to see you go, my partner over here to my left, so, but I hope you can, come back sometime, so we'd be glad to have you. I just wanna say thank you to all of the city employees who work outside in the sweltering temperatures to keep our city beautiful and provide us services and all of the things that encompasses, and that I pray for you cool temperatures through Marion Days, I'll put it that way. So I wish you well with staying cool and hydrated and all of that.
Ray?
Act like you're expecting an oration or something.
Stand up.
It has truly been a pleasure and an honor to serve with this group and the city council twice. I am pleased that I was part of this group that brought us back to regular order and civility, and I want you all to continue doing how you're doing. We've had several different subjects that we have robust debate on, but everybody treats each other just fine. There's no arguments about it. We take each other for your stature and how it's worth and what your title is. So anyway, if anybody at any time wants to call for a sounding board, I'll be available. I'm just hanging around. But I am glad for my new residents, and you guys better take care of that area. That's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Well, we have I know this is gonna upset some of you, but there is no executive session tonight, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Ray?
I move we adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.